This sailing in flat water is such a treat. We've had our fair share of lumps and bumps on the way north, so coming into Husavik Bay and sailing in 13 knots flat water towards a snow-capped mountain, my goodness, there are moments in life when you think this is pretty damn good, and it is.
Welcome back to Adventure Now as we leave Husavik on this gorgeous sunny day. If we were as far south as we are north from home waters, we would be in the Mediterranean. Hot, sweaty, and fighting for a space in an anchorage. No such battles are fought here, not on the cold, crisp north coast of Iceland. Here the beer is chilled for you, perfect cod practically jumps straight into your frying pan, and massive whales swim right past the boat without trying to chew your rudder off, despite being chased down by a bunch of tourists. And while all this is going on, you are staring in wonder at the magnificent snow-capped mountains. A lot of people have asked us why we choose to sail in the north, and the answer is simple: because it's raw, unspoilt, and beautiful. I made my decision, I'm holding the line. I've walked the walk and I've done the time. I threw it all up into the air. I risked regret, remorse, despair. But I now know the secret and I'll gladly impart that happiness abounds when you follow your heart.
Awesome sail. It's been a good sort of 15-16 knots of breeze, nice flat water. We saw a whale, which is good, and now we're sailing away from that beautiful view. Oh, it's gorgeous out here. Just wish it was 15 degrees warmer, that's all.
Honestly, there's no pleasing some people, is there? But would I actually change anything? No way. This is awesome.
Now we are approaching this lovely flat island called Flatey. We've basically got to come outside the harbour, line up these two transits and follow it in. It's 2.9 metres under the keel at the moment, so it's pretty shallow. So these markers are starting to come in line now, Asher, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
The gorgeous island of Flatey is only about 1 mile squared, and other than a couple of hardy souls, the only permanent residents here are the birds.
We've just worked out, having got in here, that the pontoon, looking at the picture, used to extend right out, but now it's short. So we are nearly on the bottom and it's not far off high tide. So this isn't any good for us here. So we now have two choices. We can anchor outside, which the guide says we can if it's in settled weather, which it is, or we can push on. So let's go outside and have a look, shall we, Ashley? See what we think.
Okay, let's do it.
It soon dawned on us that there was no need to push on in such settled conditions, so we decided to stay and enjoy the island.
So Flatey Harbour was not for us, and nor is that pier over there because it's a bit harsh, concretey, there's no ladder on it either. So we decided to put the anchor down because it's lovely and settled, it's beautiful. And then I thought, why not on a sunny day, let's see if there are any cod in this bay. And I tell you what, if I can catch cod, anyone can catch cod. I'm going to drop this lure down here. It's only about 5 metres deep. There seems to be a lot of cod around there. So we're just going to dab it up and down and see if we can get an interested customer. There you go, there you go. Nice fish, nice fish. They fight well as well in this sort of shallow water. There we are. Look at that. What a beautiful, good size eating cod. But my friend, you are very lucky because we've got a couple of cod fillets down there because we caught some on the way in. And this one was really just to sort of show what can be done. Lucky you, lucky you. Swim on. I love fishing in Iceland.
Usually in this life, we look at other animals as imposters when they stray into what we believe is our domain. But up here, it is clear that this domain belongs to nature, and we are the imposters.
When we came in yesterday, we suspected, looking at the photo, that the end of the pontoon had been taken away. Standing here now, I can definitely say that's the case. Also, you can see very clearly why we were reading 0 beneath the keel. From the time that we leave port at the start of the sailing season until the end of the season, we see so many incredible things. And we're just walking around Flatey Island. I'm not sure really what I expected, but I have to say it's probably prettier than Grimsey. And we're 6 or so miles south of Grimsey here. And then I was thinking, what the hell am I doing here? When I was a kid, weekend sailing, I used to say to my parents, can we just go sailing somewhere? Like no sort of destination, just go for a sail. And we didn't really do that because, you know, you can't please children and too long at sea, and I was bored, so what can you do? But now, 48 years old, I consider myself an accidental adventurer, because here we are on the north coast of Iceland with Altor down in the background, which is home, and we go to all these lovely places and we take our home with us. So we don't rough it, but this accidental adventuring lifestyle is absolutely awesome. I feel so lucky to be on this spectacular island, unspoilt, surrounded by nature, so many birds, and the sea is replete with cod. Thank you very much, you're very tasty. And this afternoon we're going to go west to our next destination. What treats life for us there? I've no idea, but that's the beauty of this life. You can plan, but you can't predict.
The truth about this sailing life is that it's a hard life. But try telling that to someone who lives with the daily pressures of work and family life. I totally understand that this looks like a constant holiday, but there are pressures here too. The constant anxiety about keeping your boat safe, not dragging anchor, not running aground, not having a breakdown far offshore. But at some point we have to face it. Us humans don't like an easy ride. Instead, we like to balance between the two extremes. And this here is the perfect balance, when the stress, the worry, the anxiety is all worth it for this one heavenly moment in time.
Off so soon?
Indeed. I think we found somewhere here we'd be happy to stay for a few days, but that's not how we're running this show, is it? We have destinations to explore, and they are that way. Let's get this anchor up and have a gentle motor, because there's no wind.
We noticed that we dropped the anchor in loads of kelp, so now we are pulling some of it up.
Yeah, we could see it, couldn't we? Sort of 6 feet down, so I think it's probably at least 10 feet of kelp forest. So let's just try and get this anchor out and up. There's a big starfish coming up. I know you love that chain. You are stuck on there hard, but this isn't the right place for you. That's it, mate. You're a star. Never forget it. Never forget it. Well, I'm surprised. Came up clean as a whistle.
We love the peace and quiet of these remote locations. But alongside peace and quiet comes time to reflect and time to look within. There is no hiding from that out here. Put simply, humility descends when you spend time alongside the magnificence of Mother Nature. I used to be my job. My job was my judge, my job was my status. But now, my professional status is nothing, and Mother Nature is my judge. I'm not looking for promotion. I found my place, and the place is called oneness. Beautiful cruise west from Flatey, especially in the gorgeous sunshine. One thing I'll never work out is the wind in Iceland. We had 0 wind and 0 wind in the forecast. We popped around the fjord and suddenly we had 22 knots up the chuff. But it's a lovely little 20-mile hop into a brand new destination. We're excited now because every destination we go to from this point on is brand new to us. And this one's looking good. So welcome to Olafsfjordur, another troll central of Iceland, where the children all behave because they know the consequences if they don't. Walking through this neat and tidy town, we got a real sense of community, and my guess is that you need a good community in order to endure the long, cold, dark winters this far north in Iceland. There's plenty to do. You can swim in the naturally heated swimming pool, jump off the ski slope in winter, or ride a bike off it in summer. The only thing missing from this community is the people. Where the hell is everyone? At least the ducks took a break from their pond to come and say hello. Or maybe they're just as obsessed with social media as the rest of us. In most towns there are so many people that you practically trip over each other, but that's not the case here. I would go as far to say that there is a slightly post-apocalyptic feel about the place.
42-year-old knob.
Shit, she's 41. I'm in trouble if she hears that.
The reason for Ash's exuberance? Well, she's just started her 2-week holiday, although I've no idea why she's so excited. She's only staying at home.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We've got a passenger on the ship today. Well, he's just turning up now. When we were visiting the canyon, we bumped into a guy who's cycling across Iceland. He actually designed and I think built this bike, and he's taking on a road test. Anyway, he was pretty fascinated with our journey, said he'd love to do some sailing, and we said, well, if you get your aft to Olafsfjordur, you can jump on the boat for the next leg. And that's what he's here to do. We're welcoming Luka on board, bike first. Okay, yep, got it. Cool.
Woohoo! Welcome on board, Luka.
Thank you, guys. You happy with this? Do you want any pads down here?
No, for me.
You're
really.
okay?
I think, yeah, I just want to look how do you make the, what's the name?
Oh, the knot?
Knot.
Well, you know,
Because I want
they
to
say
know.
it's better to know a knot and not need it than need a knot and not know it.
After a quick safety briefing for the crew, we set about leaving Olafsfjordur behind and heading west.
Is this the first time your bike's been on the boat?
Yes.
Luka builds bikes for a living, and having Viking heritage, it's no surprise that he headed to Iceland to give the bike a shakedown test. Being Luka's first time on a boat like this, it was also a test for him, but as a crew of 3, we quickly fell into the groove of being at sea. Having a clear horizon and a gorgeous sunset reminded us that the days of perpetual sunlight are coming to a close. We headed north and couldn't resist going a little further than required so we could cross that line once again.
Ta-da! We are in the Arctic Circle again.
Congratulations, Luka.
So nice.
Although it's only a line on a map, it does feel good to cross it.
Historical moment.
ridden into the Arctic Circle. Congratulations.
The first man with a bike on the Arctic Circle. No, I don't know.
It still completely blows my mind that this is our life, adventuring up here in the north on Altor of Down. And it was wonderful to be able to share some of our adventure and introduce someone into what I think is a completely intoxicating environment. The environment that starts where land gives way to sea.
The lighthouse behind me is Straumnes Skorar on the northwest tip of Iceland. We've had a great trip. So originally we were going to be going for 80 miles, but we've extended that out to 130 or so in order to get around this corner, because we've had a forecast of some stiff northerlies coming, and that could have pinned us down around the other side for a few days. We crossed the Arctic Circle just because we could, and also we thought it'd be nice for Luka. And now we are going to tuck in around this headland and hoping we're going to find a nice anchorage. Well, this isn't bad, is it? Lovely when you come around a headland with the sea behind you and you tuck into somewhere so beautifully tranquil and calm. We're going to be anchoring over in the corner where we can see a little bit of snow. I think there's a beach, which is where we're planning on dropping Luka off so he can get back on his bike and ride.
We all need a bit of luck, and we had rounded the top in perfect weather less than 12 hours before the northerly gale was due to arrive.
Are you guys down with the anchor?
Yeah. Yes.
Should I turn off the engine?
Yeah, please.
It's true to say that getting in and out of dinghies is often the most dangerous part of sailing. No pressure here then. To drop this bike over the side means the end of the adventure for Luka. Fortunately, our old school Avon dinghy Altor girl delivered us safely to the shore, right into the heart of this gorgeous national park on Iceland's northernmost peninsula. With Luka and his bike safely ashore, we said our goodbyes and returned to Altor, having made a plan to hunker down in this beautiful anchorage while the northerly gale blew through. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Adventure Now. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Until the next time, Altor out.
Nice or ice?
Nice and ice. Oh, hello. Want to see a small cock?